Welcome back to another episode of Podcast and Chill. We're so excited to have you here on the Learn English podcast channel. Last time, we talked about ways to improve your memory, and it seems like you all loved it.
Yes, and we received so many comments from you about how helpful it was. Memory is just one piece of the puzzle when it comes to training your brain.
That's true. Keeping your brain sharp is as important as keeping your body fit.
So, that brings us to today's topic: how to train your brain.
We'll discuss some simple but effective ways to boost your brain power and keep your mind active.
Plus, we'll share some fun techniques and tips to make brain training enjoyable.
Don't forget, there's a free PDF with key takeaways from today's episode, so make sure to download it.
All right, let's dive in and get started.
All right, Gwen, let's get into it. Why is brain training so important?
Well, think of it this way: we train our bodies to stay healthy, so why not our brains?
That's a great point. A strong brain helps with memory, problem solving, and staying focused, especially when learning English.
Exactly. I read a study from Harvard that showed activities like learning a new skill can improve brain function and even delay aging.
Learning new skills? Like what?
It could be anything: learning to play the guitar, trying out a new recipe, or even picking up a language like English.
I've been trying to learn how to juggle. Does that count?
It does. Juggling improves hand-eye coordination and concentration.
So, learning something new keeps the brain active and sharp. What about memory exercises?
Memory exercises are great. For example, try memorizing a list of words or using the Memory Palace technique.
Memory Palace? Sounds like a place I'd love to visit.
It's not a real palace, Leo. It's a method where you visualize a place and store pieces of information in different rooms to recall them later.
That's so cool. I'm going to try it with my grocery list.
Another fun exercise is using rhymes or songs to remember things. For example, think about how kids learn the alphabet with the ABC song. That melody sticks in your mind, and you remember it for years. You can apply the same idea to learning English words or phrases. For instance, you could create a simple tune to help remember irregular verbs like go, went, gone, or see, saw, seen.
Oh, and don't forget about listening to songs in English. Songs are a great way to learn because they combine words with rhythm and emotion.
Exactly. For example, singing along to Let It Be by the Beatles can help you practice simple phrases and pronunciation. Plus, when you sing a song you like, you're more likely to remember the words.
That's true. I used to sing We Will Rock You by Queen all the time, and now I'll never forget the phrase, You got mud on your face.
Another example is rhymes. You can use rhyming phrases to memorize tricky things, like prepositions. For instance, on the table, not in the air; under the chair, but not over there.
That's brilliant. It's like turning studying into a game.
And it works for people of all ages, not just kids. So whether you're creating your own tunes or borrowing from your favorite songs, music and rhymes make learning more fun and effective. And don't forget about learning through association.
You mean like connecting a word to an image or story?
Yes. For instance, if you're learning the word tree, picture a tree in your mind or think of a memory involving a tree.
That's a powerful way to remember vocabulary. Speaking of memory, I heard exercise can boost brain function too.
Absolutely. A quick walk or even yoga can increase blood flow to your brain, helping you think more clearly. Did you know that research from Harvard Medical School shows that physical activity boosts the production of chemicals in the brain that improve memory? Yes, simple activities like yoga or a brisk walk can increase blood flow to the brain. This improves your focus and helps you think more clearly. For instance, I read that just 30 minutes of moderate exercise a day can enhance the part of your brain responsible for learning and memory, the hippocampus.
That's amazing. I guess exercise isn't just about looking fit. It's about feeling sharp too.
Absolutely. Physical movement helps the brain release endorphins, which reduce stress and improve overall mood.
So the next time you feel stuck or tired while studying, try a quick stretch or a short walk.
Not only will you feel refreshed, but you'll also remember what you've learned more effectively.
Wow, so training your brain isn't just about puzzles or studying, it's about keeping your whole lifestyle active and healthy.
Exactly. And with consistent practice, you'll see results not only in learning English, but in your everyday life.
Let's look at 5 helpful phrases from today's discussion. 1. Brain boost, an activity that improves the performance of your brain. Example, meditation is a great brain boost because it helps you focus better.
2. Memory hack, a trick or method to remember things more easily. Example, using rhymes is a classic memory hack for learning new words.
3. Keep your mind sharp, to stay mentally alert and focused. Example, playing chess is a fun way to keep your mind sharp.
4. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and change by learning new things. Example, learning a new instrument can enhance neuroplasticity and make your brain more adaptable.
5. Daily challenge, a small task you do each day to improve your skills or brain power. Example, a daily challenge like solving a crossword puzzle can keep your brain active. Let's discuss some of these ideas together. Why do you think physical exercise is often called a brain boost, Gwen?
I think it's because exercise doesn't just help the body, it helps the brain too.
Exactly. When we move, the blood flow to our brain increases, which helps us think more clearly.
And it also improves memory, right?
Right. I've noticed after a good walk, I can focus better on my work. Have you ever felt that way?
Absolutely. It's like a mental reset button. Now, here's another question. How can a daily challenge, like learning a new word, help improve your memory over time?
That's an easy one. Repeating something every day strengthens the brain's neural connections.
You're saying it's like building a stronger bridge in your mind?
Exactly. And the more you practice, the easier it becomes to remember new things.
That's a great way to put it. So, what's one small daily challenge you'd recommend to our listeners, Leo?
I'd say start with learning one new word a day and using it in a sentence. It's simple but so effective.
That sounds like a fun and easy challenge.
Let's dive deeper into some habits that can truly train your brain. One fascinating aspect of brain training is how creativity can be a game changer.
Creativity? That's interesting. Tell me more.
I read about this study from Stanford that shows drawing or journaling helps activate different parts of the brain.
That makes sense. It's like giving your brain a fun challenge, right?
Exactly. Plus, it's super relaxing, which is great for reducing stress.
Another thing is social interactions. Did you know talking to others stimulates the brain?
That's true. Even casual chats can improve memory and problem-solving skills.
Exactly. So, calling a friend or joining a group activity isn't just fun, it's brain training.
Let's also talk about humor. Laughing is one of the best ways to keep your brain engaged.
Laughing? Now you're just trying to promote your jokes, aren't you?
Well, yes, but science backs me up. Research shows laughter boosts endorphins, which help your brain focus and stay positive.
All right, I'll give you that one. Laughter really is a great tool for brain health. Here's something fun. Studies show people who regularly engage in hobbies are more likely to stay mentally sharp as they age.
That's a great reason to pick up painting or even gardening, right?
Absolutely. And you don't have to be perfect at it. Just enjoy the process.
So, what hobby would you start to train your brain?
Let us know in the comments.
Speaking of hobbies, Gwen, did you know that playing a musical instrument can actually change the structure of your brain?
Really? That sounds fascinating. What's the science behind it?
Well, I read a study from Harvard that shows musicians have more gray matter in certain parts of their brain.
Gray matter? That's the part of the brain responsible for things like memory and muscle control, right?
Exactly. So, Even practicing for 10 to 15 minutes a day can strengthen those areas.
That's such a simple and effective way to train your brain.
And not just instruments. Did you know that learning a new language can delay cognitive decline as you age?
I've heard about that. The University of Edinburgh did a study showing bilingual people have better memory and multitasking skills.
Exactly. It's like giving your brain a workout every time you switch between languages.
Speaking of switching, multitasking is another way to keep your brain active, but only if done correctly.
What do you mean by correctly?
I mean focusing on related tasks. For example, while listening to a podcast, try summarizing it aloud. It's like engaging multiple parts of your brain at once.
That's smart. I might try that with this podcast, summarizing it for myself after we finish.
Another important point is rest. The brain needs downtime to process and store information.
Absolutely. That's why sleep is so crucial for memory and focus.
Did you know a study by the National Sleep Foundation found that people who sleep 7 to 9 hours perform better on cognitive tasks?
I can totally see that. Whenever I get less than 6 hours of sleep, my brain feels like it's running on empty.
It's like trying to drive a car with no fuel.
So, for those listening, make sure to prioritize rest as part of your brain training routine.
Great advice. And remember, small steps, like picking up a hobby or getting enough sleep, can lead to big changes over time.
Let's go over 7 helpful phrases we use today. 1. Gray matter. The part of the brain that handles memory, muscle control, and decision making. Example, playing chess can increase the gray matter in your brain.
2. Cognitive decline, the process of losing mental abilities as you age. Example, learning a new language can help delay cognitive decline.
3. Multitasking, doing multiple things at the same time, but focusing on related tasks for better results. Example, listening to a podcast while summarizing it aloud improves your brain's activity.
4. Engage, to actively participate or involve yourself in an activity. Example, to keep your brain sharp, engage in mind-challenging games like Sudoku.
5. Bilingual, being able to speak 2 languages fluently. Example, bilingual people tend to have better problem-solving skills.
6. Alternate, to switch between 2 or more things regularly. Example, alternating between writing with your left and right hand can train your brain in unique ways.
7. Stimulate, to encourage or trigger activity in the brain. Example, solving puzzles stimulates creative thinking. Now, let's reflect on 2 questions for today's discussion.
Question 1. What are some simple ways to train your brain based on today's discussion?
Let's see. I think learning a new language is a great start, like English.
Absolutely. It's not just useful, but it also pushes your brain to work in new ways.
And don't forget about mind games like Sudoku or chess. They're like a workout for your brain.
Oh, I love Sudoku. It really makes you think differently. Do you play any of these, Leo?
I try, but honestly, I'm better at summarizing things like a podcast episode. That's my go-to brain exercise.
That's a great idea. Summarizing helps with memory and organizing thoughts. Question 2. How can physical exercise help your brain?
Oh, I read that even a simple walk can boost blood flow to your brain.
Yes, and yoga is another great option. It helps release hormones that improve memory and focus.
That's true. After a quick walk or stretch, I always feel refreshed and ready to tackle new ideas.
Me too. It's a great reminder that taking care of your body really supports your brain.
What about you, listeners? Do you have a favorite way to train your brain?
Let us know in the comments below.
Well, that's it for today's episode of Podcast and Chill.
We hope you found our discussion on brain training helpful and inspiring.
Remember, whether it's learning a new skill, playing a mind game, or just taking a short walk, every little effort counts.
And don't forget to check out the free PDF we've included in the description. It's packed with tips and vocabulary from today.
If you have any thoughts or ideas about today's topic, leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you.
Thanks for spending your time with us.
See you next time on Podcast and Chill.
English Leap Podcast.
From Speak English with Class.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the English Leap Podcast, your go-to podcast for learning English and improving your life. I'm Evan, and as always, I'm joined by my fantastic co-host, Erin. How are you doing today, Erin?
I'm doing all right, Evan. Just a little bit out of breath, but I'm excited to be here.
We're happy to have you here now. But you do seem a bit frazzled. Everything okay?
Honestly, no. My mornings have been a total disaster lately. Where do I begin? Well, last night I stayed up late scrolling through social media. Bad idea. Then I overslept because I didn't set my alarm properly. I rushed through, getting dressed, skipped breakfast, and couldn't find my car keys. By the time I hit the road, traffic was insane. I was annoyed, hungry, and worried I'd be late to record the podcast. Which, of course, I was.
Sounds rough. Your day starts off on the wrong foot, and then it's hard to recover. No wonder you're stressed. But it's also really relatable. I'm sure many of our listeners have had mornings just like that.
Yes, and I hate how it affects my entire day. I end up behind schedule, my energy's low, and I don't have the mental space to practice my English skills or do anything productive.
Well, you're in luck because that's our topic today. Building a morning routine that sets you up for success. And before we jump into our tips, we have a special PDF for you. It contains key points from today's discussion
And comprehension questions to test your understanding. Grammar exercises to feel more confident in your English skills.
and trust me, you don't want to miss this one. You can download it from the link in the description.
And we're also introducing some intermediate level words and phrases in today's episode.
Exactly. And we'll take a closer look at them later in Charlotte's vocabulary section, where we break down meanings, usage, and examples in everyday English. So, stay tuned for that if you want to level up your vocabulary. All right, Erin. Since you've had a bit of a chaotic morning, why don't we start with why mornings matter?
Yes, that's a great starting point. A lot of people think mornings don't really matter. It's just another part of the day, right? But mornings actually set the tone for everything that follows.
Exactly. I always think of mornings as the first domino in a long line. If the first domino falls smoothly, the rest will follow. But if it wobbles or falls the wrong way, everything gets messed up.
That's such a great visual. And it's so true. When my morning starts off calmly, the rest of my day feels productive and organized. But when I wake up late and rush through everything, I'm playing catch-up all day.
And for English learners, mornings are a golden opportunity for consistent practice. Your brain is fresh and ready to absorb information. Even just 5 to 10 minutes of English practice in the morning can make a big difference.
Absolutely. Mornings give you that quiet, distraction-free time before the day gets busy. You can focus on something like reading a short article or reviewing vocabulary without interruptions.
Now, before we talk about how to improve your mornings, you need to figure out what's holding you back. Think of it like being a detective. What's causing the chaos?
For me, it's definitely late nights. I'll get caught up scrolling on Instagram or watching too many episodes of a show, and suddenly it's 1 a.m. The next morning, I hit snooze 3 times and wake up feeling exhausted.
Been there. Another common obstacle is not preparing anything the night before. If you wake up with no plan, you end up scrambling to find your keys, clothes, or breakfast. That's when things go off the rails.
Yes, I used to do that all the time. I'd wake up with no idea what to wear or eat, and by the time I left the house, I was already behind schedule.
So true. And for some people, the biggest obstacle is overscheduling their mornings. Trying to fit in too many things, exercise, emails, breakfast, reading, can backfire and leave you feeling overwhelmed.
The key is to identify your biggest obstacle and focus on fixing that first. For me, it's clearly my late nights, so I need to work on winding down earlier.
This next step is a game changer. Plan your morning the night before.
Yes, it's like doing a favor for your future self. When you prepare ahead, you eliminate a lot of stressful decisions in the morning.
Think of it like clearing the runway for your morning takeoff. If the runway is cluttered with last-minute decisions, like, what should I wear? Or, where's my phone charger? You'll never take off smoothly.
Exactly. Here's what I like to do. Lay out my clothes, pack my bag, and write a quick to-do list for the next day. It makes such a difference.
I do something similar. I even prep my breakfast the night before. Sometimes it's overnight oats, or I just set out my coffee supplies.
Oh, and writing down your top 3 priorities for the next day is a great habit too. When you wake up, you already know what to focus on, instead of wasting time figuring it out.
It's like having a road map. Without it, you'll wander aimlessly. With it, you'll know exactly where you're going.
Ah, the wake-up time. This is where I used to mess up the most. I'd set my alarm for 5:30 a.m. because I thought that's what productive people did. But it never worked. I'd just hit snooze until 7 o'clock.
You're not alone. The mistake most people make is setting unrealistic goals. If you usually wake up at 7:30, don't suddenly try waking up at 5. You'll just frustrate yourself.
Right. Start with a small adjustment. Wake up 15 to 30 minutes earlier at first. Once that feels comfortable, you can adjust it further if you want.
Another great trick is to move your alarm across the room so you have to physically get up to turn it off. Or try a sunrise alarm clock. It simulates natural light, which makes waking up easier.
That's a good idea. And don't forget to adjust your bedtime. If you're waking up earlier, you'll need to go to bed earlier too. Otherwise, you'll just be tired all day.
Exactly. A good morning always starts with a good night's sleep. All right, Aaron, let's talk about mindfulness. This step might sound a bit zen, but it's one of the simplest ways to improve your mornings.
Yes. I used to think mindfulness meant sitting cross-legged and meditating for hours, but it's actually much easier than that. It's really just about pausing and being present for a few minutes.
Exactly. Imagine your mind is like a glass of muddy water. If you keep stirring it, it stays cloudy. But if you let it settle, the mud sinks to the bottom, and the water becomes clear. Mindfulness does the same thing for your thoughts. It helps you reset and refocus.
Love that metaphor. A super easy way to incorporate mindfulness is deep breathing. Sit quietly for a minute and take slow breaths. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 4.
Or you can try morning reflection. Think of one thing you're grateful for or set a positive intention for the day. Something like, I'm ready to learn, or I'm calm and focused.
That's a great idea. It's amazing how just 1 minute of mindfulness can turn a chaotic morning into a calm, centered one.
Our next step is get moving. And no, we're not suggesting a full workout here, just a little physical activity to wake up your body and mind.
Right. Think of your body as a computer in sleep mode. Moving around helps it fully power up.
Exactly. You can start with a few stretches to loosen up your muscles and get the blood flowing.
What if I want something a bit more active?
Go for a short walk around the block or just around your house. Or even better, dance to an English song for a few minutes. It's fun and energizing.
I love the idea of dancing. Plus, if you're listening to English music, you're improving your listening skills at the same time.
It's a win-win. And movement isn't just good for your physical health. It also boosts memory and focus, which is perfect for learning.
Now, this is one of my favorite steps. Schedule a mini English practice. It's a great way to make language learning a natural part of your morning.
Yes. The key is to keep it short and consistent. Even just 5 to 10 minutes in the morning can lead to big progress over time.
Exactly. There are lots of easy ways to fit in a quick English session. You could listen to an English podcast while making coffee or read a short article from an English news site.
Great ideas. What about writing?
Write a quick journal entry about your plans for the day. Or if you want to practice speaking, talk to yourself in the mirror or describe what's around you in English. It really helps.
I like the journal idea. Writing a few sentences in English every morning helps you practice grammar and vocabulary without feeling like you're studying.
Exactly. The point is to make it a habit, just like brushing your teeth. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be regular.
And now, we're on to the final step. Track your progress and reflect.
This is such an important step. It helps you see what's working and what needs tweaking. Think of it like checking your GPS on a road trip. You need to know if you're still on course or if you've drifted off track.
Exactly. One great way to track your progress is to use a habit tracker. Seeing those check marks build up is super motivating.
That's smart. What else can we do?
Keep a weekly journal to reflect on what worked and what didn't. Or set small goals, like wake up at 7:15 every day this week, or practice English for 5 minutes each morning.
I recently started using a habit tracker app, and it's been a game changer. It keeps me accountable and helps me notice patterns.
And don't be afraid to adjust your routine if something isn't working. Flexibility is key. The goal is to create a routine that feels good and works for you.
Yes, and reflection also helps you celebrate your wins. Even small victories, like waking up on time or sticking to your mini English practice, deserve a pat on the back.
And now, as promised, it's time for Charlotte's vocabulary section.
Yes. In this segment, Charlotte will break down some of the intermediate level words and phrases we've used in today's episode. She'll give you simple definitions and examples so you can start using them in your own conversations. Take it away, Charlotte.
Thank you, Erin and Evan. Hi, everyone. Here are 10 words and phrases from today's discussion that will help you build your vocabulary and sound more natural in English. Frazzled. Meaning, feeling stressed or exhausted. Example, after working late and forgetting my presentation, I was so frazzled that I couldn't think straight. Obstacle. Meaning, something that makes it difficult to reach your goal. Example, a major obstacle to learning English is not having enough time to practice every day. Mindfulness. Meaning, being present and fully focused on what you're doing. Example, mindfulness during meals helps me appreciate the food and avoid distractions. Reflection. Meaning, careful thinking or reviewing something. Example, after the exam, I spent some time in reflection to figure out what I could improve next time. Productive. Meaning, getting a lot done, being efficient. Example, I'm always more productive when I work in the morning rather than late at night. Scramble. Meaning, to rush around in a disorganized way. Example, we scrambled to catch the last bus after realizing the time. Chaos. Meaning, complete disorder or confusion. Example, the kitchen was in chaos after we baked cookies with 5 kids running around. Consistent. Meaning, regular and steady. Example, to see real progress at the gym, you have to be consistent with your workouts. Centered. Meaning, calm, focused, and balanced. Example, yoga helps me feel centered and ready to face the day with a clear mind. Countability. Meaning, being responsible for your actions or progress. Example: my study group gives me accountability to finish my homework on time. Those are your vocabulary words for today. Try using them in your own sentences this week, and remember to check out the PDF for more practice. Back to you, Aaron and Evan.
Thank you, Charlotte. Those were some really helpful words and phrases. Make sure to practice them. You'll be amazed at how quickly they become part of your daily vocabulary.
Totally. And don't forget to download our free PDF from the link in the description. It's packed with all the key points we discussed today, plus comprehension questions and grammar exercises to help you take your learning even further.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode and feel inspired to start building your own morning routine. Remember, even small changes can lead to big results.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on the English Leap podcast. Until then, take care and keep learning.
Bye, everyone.
Your progress doesn't end here. To continue advancing your English skills, click on the next video or explore the additional videos we've thoughtfully selected for you.
English Leap Podcast.
From Speak English with Class.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the English Leap podcast. If you're looking to improve your English while having fun, you're in the right place. I'm Jennifer, your host, and with me is my co-host, Daniel.
Hey everyone, we're excited you've joined us today. Our goal is to help you learn English through interesting conversations and easy-to-follow discussions. And today's topic is really exciting: building wealth.
Yes, building wealth is something we all think about at some point. Whether you want to save for the future, invest, or just understand money better, it's an important topic. We'll share tips and ideas. And of course, keep it simple so you can practice your English along the way.
Exactly. And the best part is, by the end of today's episode, you won't even realize that you've picked up new vocabulary related to finance. Learning while having fun, that's what we're all about.
Absolutely. So, let's dive right into today's topic. So, Daniel, let me ask you, when did you start thinking about saving and building wealth? Was there a moment when you realized, I need to start doing something about my money?
Oh, definitely. It was right after college. I got my first job, and for the first time, I had a steady income. But after a few months, I realized that I wasn't saving anything. I was spending on things I didn't really need. It hit me when I checked my bank account and thought, whoops, I should be smarter with my money.
That's such a relatable story. I think many people go through that moment when they realize they need to start saving and thinking about the future. For me, it was when I wanted to buy my first car. I didn't have enough savings, and I had to make a plan to start building my finances.
Exactly. Building wealth isn't just for the super rich. It's something we can all do, little by little. Today, we'll share some ideas that can help anyone start building wealth, no matter where they are in life.
Oh, and before we continue, don't forget about the PDF for today's episode. It includes all the vocabulary, phrases, and extra tips we'll talk about today. Just click the link in the description to download it.
And later on, our friend Charlotte, our vocabulary expert, will join us to break down some key words and expressions we'll use today. She'll make sure you understand all the important terms related to building wealth.
That's right. Charlotte will explain everything in a simple way, so stick around for that.
So Jennifer, let's start by talking about what wealth really means. A lot of people think it's just about how much money you make, right? But wealth is much more than just your salary.
Exactly, Daniel. A lot of people confuse income with wealth. You can have a high income and still not be wealthy if you're spending everything you earn. Wealth is really about what you save, invest, and build over time. It's about accumulating assets, like stocks, bonds, real estate, things that can grow in value and help you build your financial future.
Right. Wealth is really about the bigger picture, your financial health over the long term. It's about what you keep after all your expenses and how you grow it. When I started my first job, I was earning a decent salary, but I wasn't saving anything. At the time, I thought having a good income meant I was doing fine financially, but I didn't realize that without saving and investing, I wasn't actually building wealth.
I totally relate to that. When I got my first job, I felt the same way. I was spending my entire paycheck on things I didn't really need, just because I had the money. But one day I looked at my bank account, and I had nothing left. It was a wake-up call for me. That's when I realized that being rich doesn't mean earning a lot. It's about being smart with your money and making it grow.
And that's where financial goals come in, right? If you don't have a plan, it's so easy to just spend money without thinking about the future. I remember when I set my first financial goal, it was to save up for a down payment on a car. I had to think about how much I needed, how much I could save each month, and how long it would take. It gave me something to work towards.
Exactly. Financial goals give you a direction and purpose. Whether it's saving for something like a car, a vacation, or even bigger goals like buying a house or retiring early, having clear goals helps you stay focused. When I was paying off my student loans, I set small goals along the way. I'd break it down into manageable chunks, like paying off one loan at a time. It made the process less overwhelming and kept me motivated.
I like how you mentioned breaking it down. Sometimes when we think about big financial goals, they can feel out of reach. But if you break them into smaller, more achievable goals, it feels less stressful, like building an emergency fund. Instead of aiming for a huge number right away, start with something small, like $500, and build from there.
That's a great point, Daniel. It's like building wealth brick by brick. And once you have those financial goals in place, one of the best ways to grow your wealth is by investing. Saving is important, but investing is how your money starts working for you. There are so many ways to invest: stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate. I started with mutual funds because they felt safer, but over time, I got more comfortable investing in individual stocks.
Yes, investing is key. I was really nervous about investing at first because I didn't know much about it. But I started small with my retirement account and then gradually learned about other types of investments. It's amazing how your money can grow over time, even with small, consistent contributions.
Exactly. And speaking of being consistent, one thing that can really derail wealth building is debt. I've seen so many people struggle because of credit card debt. It's easy to fall into, but hard to get out of if you're not careful. Managing credit wisely is so important.
Oh, for sure. I learned that lesson the hard way. When I first got a credit card, I didn't really think about the interest. I was just swiping it left and right. But then, the balance kept growing, and I was only paying the minimum each month. The interest added up so quickly that it took me years to pay it off. Now, I make sure to only use credit when I know I can pay it off in full by the end of the month.
That's a great habit to have. Credit cards can be useful, especially for building your credit score, but only if you manage them carefully. Paying them off every month and avoiding high-interest debt can really help you stay on track with your wealth-building goals.
And speaking of staying on track, that reminds me of another tip: automating your savings and investments. When I first started saving, I'd often forget or feel tempted to spend the money. But when I set up automatic transfers from my checking account to my savings and investment accounts, it became a lot easier. I didn't have to think about it, and my wealth was building in the background.
Automation is such a good idea. I've been doing the same thing, and it's amazing how much of a difference it makes. You don't even miss the money because it's already out of your account. Plus, it keeps you consistent with your savings goals.
So Jennifer, we've talked about the importance of managing credit and investing, but there's another simple principle that can make a huge difference: living below your means. It sounds easy, but it's not always simple, right?
Definitely. Living below your means is the foundation of building wealth. It's all about spending less than you earn. The problem is, in today's world, with online shopping and credit cards, it's so easy to overspend without even realizing it. I remember when I got my first raise, I thought I could treat myself to a few luxuries: new clothes, a nicer car. but after a while, I realized I was just spending more instead of saving.
I've been there too. It's tempting to upgrade your lifestyle every time your income goes up. But that's where the trouble starts. You end up with lifestyle inflation, where your expenses grow as fast as your income. That's why living below your means is so powerful. If you earn more but keep your spending low, you can save and invest the difference. And that's how wealth grows.
Exactly. It's not about living like you're poor. It's about being smart with your money. For example, instead of buying a new car every few years, I decided to stick with my reliable old car and invest the money I would have spent on a new one. Over time, those savings really add up.
That's a great point, Jennifer. And another thing that really helps with wealth building is having multiple streams of income. You don't want to rely on just one paycheck. I started a small online business as a side hustle, and it's been a great way to bring in extra income. It also feels good knowing I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket.
Oh, absolutely. Relying on just one source of income is risky. If something happens to your job, you're in trouble. But if you have multiple streams of income, you've got a safety net. I know people who have rental properties, invest in the stock market, or even do freelance work. There are so many ways to earn extra money these days. I started doing freelance consulting on weekends, and the extra cash helped me pay off debt faster.
That's awesome. Having more than one stream of income gives you more security, and it also speeds up your wealth building. Plus, with technology these days, starting a side hustle is easier than ever. Whether it's selling products online, freelance work, or even passive income like investments, there are so many opportunities.
Exactly. And what I've learned is that once you start seeing the benefits of having multiple incomes, it motivates you to think bigger and look for more ways to grow your wealth. It really ties into the mindset you need for wealth building.
Right. Your mindset is crucial. I always say, building wealth isn't just about numbers, it's about how you think. If you believe you can grow your wealth and stick to your plan, you'll be more likely to succeed. But if you're always thinking, I'll never have enough money, or this is too hard, you're putting up mental roadblocks.
That's so true. Your mindset can either help or hurt you. I used to think that wealth was only for rich people. I thought it wasn't something I could achieve. But once I started learning about personal finance and set small goals, I realized it's possible for anyone to build wealth, no matter where you start. It just takes time and the right habits.
Yes, having a growth mindset is key. It's about believing that you can improve your financial situation over time, even if it seems slow at first. You have to stay patient and keep going, even when it feels like you're not making progress. Building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly. And I think another part of having the right mindset is not being afraid to take risks. Investing, starting a side business, or buying property all involve risks. But if you don't take calculated risks, it's hard to grow your wealth. The key is to educate yourself, start small, and make smart decisions along the way.
Totally agree, Jennifer. And I think it's important to mention that mistakes are part of the journey too. Sometimes you'll make a bad investment or lose money, but that's okay. The important thing is to learn from those mistakes and keep moving forward. That's how you build a solid financial foundation over time.
Now, before we wrap up, let's bring in Charlotte for the vocabulary breakdown.
That's right. Charlotte will explain some of the key words and phrases we used today.
Thanks, Jennifer and Daniel. Hi again, everyone. Let's go over a few keywords from today's conversation that can help you improve your English. Wealth, meaning the total value of all the money, assets, and investments someone owns. Example, wealth isn't just about how much money you make, but what you save and invest. Assets, meaning resources or things of value like stocks, bonds, real estate, or cash that can grow in value. Example, investing in assets like property can help build your wealth. Financial goals, meaning specific, measurable objectives related to managing your money, like saving for a house or paying off debt. Example, setting financial goals gave me a clear path to follow. Credit score, meaning a numerical rating that shows how reliable a person is in paying back borrowed money. Example, a high credit score helps you get better interest rates on loans. Mutual funds, meaning a type of investment where money is pooled from multiple investors to invest in stocks, bonds, or other assets. Example, I started by investing in mutual funds because they felt safer. Real estate, meaning property consisting of land or buildings, often considered a long-term investment. Example, buying real estate is a good way to build assets that grow in value. Lifestyle inflation, meaning when people increase their spending as their income goes up, often making it harder to save money. Example, lifestyle inflation can stop you from building wealth, even with a good salary. Multiple streams of income, meaning earning money from more than one source, like a job, investments, or a side business. Example, having multiple streams of income adds financial security. Passive income, meaning income earned with little to no effort after the initial setup, like rental income or dividends from stocks. Example, passive income from investments help me pay off debt faster. Automating savings, meaning setting up automatic transfers from your checking account to savings or investment accounts so you don't have to think about it. Example, automating my savings made it easier to stick to my financial goals. Emergency fund, meaning a savings account set aside for unexpected expenses like medical bills or car repairs. Example, I'm building an emergency fund to cover at least 3 months of expenses. Growth mindset, meaning the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed with effort and learning over time. Example, having a growth mindset is key to building long-term wealth. Calculated risks, meaning risks that are thought out and planned with the potential rewards and consequences carefully considered. Example, investing in the stock market is a calculated risk, but it can pay off with smart decisions. Wake-up call, meaning an event or realization that makes someone change their behavior or take action. Example, seeing my empty bank account was a wake-up call for me to start saving. Put all your eggs in one basket, meaning relying too much on one thing, which can be risky if it fails. Example, you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket by relying on just one source of income. Brick by brick, meaning slowly and carefully building something over time. Example, building wealth is done brick by brick, with small savings and investments over time. In the background, meaning something that happens without much attention or effort, often without being noticed. Example, my savings were growing in the background thanks to automatic transfers. Snowball effect, meaning a situation where something starts small and builds momentum, growing larger or more intense over time. Example, compound interest works like a snowball effect. The longer you invest, the more your money grows. Derail, meaning to cause something to go off track or fail. Example, debt can derail your wealth-building efforts if you're not careful. On track, meaning progressing in the right direction towards a goal or objective. Example, paying off my credit card every month helps keep me on track with my financial goals. So that wraps up all the key phrases and vocabulary from today's conversation. I hope you found it helpful.
Thank you so much, Charlotte. That was incredibly helpful.
Yes, we really appreciate it. Expanding your vocabulary is such an important part of improving your English skills.
And that brings us to the end of today's episode. Don't forget to download the PDF for today's episode. It has all the vocabulary, phrases, and practice exercises we talked about.
We hope you enjoyed the episode. Make sure to leave us a comment, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe for more episodes. We'd love to hear your feedback and what you'd like to learn about next.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll see you next time. Keep practicing, stay positive, and remember, building wealth takes time, but every step you take brings you closer to your goals.
Your progress doesn't end here. To continue advancing your English skills, click on the next video or explore the additional videos we've thoughtfully selected for you.
English Leap Podcast.
From Speak English with Class.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the English Leap podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer, and right here with me is my co-host, Daniel.
Hi, everyone. It's great to be back. And Jennifer, I'm excited about today's topic. I think it's something we all need, sometimes more than we realize.
Definitely. Today, we'll talk about discipline and self-control. We'll share some stories, give tips, and of course, have some fun while we learn. So, Daniel, are you ready?
Absolutely. And to all our listeners, remember, we're here to make English easy and interesting. If you learn something new today, then we've done our job.
Oh, before we go further, don't forget there's a free PDF with all the key points from today's episode. So make sure to check it out in the description below. It's perfect if you want to follow along or review later.
So Jennifer, let me ask you a question. Have you ever found it hard to stay away from your phone when you should be working?
Oh, Daniel, don't get me started. I think my phone has a magnetic pull. I mean, who hasn't planned to just check one message and then, boom, an hour is gone?
Right. I know that feeling. It's like 1 minute you're checking a message and the next you're watching cute dog videos.
Exactly. And it's not just about phones. It could be food, games, or even hitting the snooze button in the morning. Staying in control is tough, right?
It really is. But that's why we're talking about this today, because we all face these challenges and we can learn how to deal with them together.
So let's start with understanding discipline and self-control. Daniel, how would you explain discipline?
Well, Jennifer, I'd say discipline is doing what you need to do, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's like getting up early for work on a cold Monday morning. You'd rather hit snooze and stay under the covers, but you get up because you know you have to.
Oh, I know that feeling, especially when your bed feels extra comfy. I used to struggle with waking up for early workouts. I'd set my alarm for 5:30 a.m. and keep it across the room. That way, I had to physically get up to turn it off. Once I was out of bed, it was easier to start my day. That little change helped me stick to my morning routine.
That's a smart move. It shows how discipline sometimes needs a little push. And self-control, on the other hand, is about resisting things you know aren't good for you, like saying no to that extra slice of pizza when you're trying to eat healthier. It takes effort, but it's a skill you can build over time.
Speaking of self-control, that reminds me of last month when I was trying to cut back on caffeine. I'd always stop at my favorite coffee shop on the way to work. The smell of freshly brewed coffee was so tempting, but I told myself, just walk past it today. It wasn't easy at first, but after a week, it got easier. It's amazing how small wins can build up your self-control.
It's true. Those little victories make a big difference. It's like when you're trying to focus on work, but your phone keeps buzzing. You have to resist the urge to check it, even if you're just curious. The more you practice that, the stronger your discipline and self-control become.
And speaking of consistency, that's where habits come into play. You know, when you make something a habit, it becomes a lot easier to stick with. Like, if you always go for a walk after dinner, soon you won't even think twice about it. It'll just be part of your day.
Exactly. Habits are like shortcuts for your brain. Once something is a habit, it doesn't take as much effort to do it. I had a friend who wanted to read more, but he said he didn't have the time, so he started keeping a book in his car. Every time he waited in the pickup line at his child's school, he'd read a few pages. Eventually, it became a habit, and now he reads a couple of books a month.
That's such a good example. It shows that habits don't have to be big to be effective. Starting small is key. I mean, if you try to go from not running at all to running 5 miles every day, you'll probably give up pretty quickly. But if you start with just a short jog around the block, it feels more doable.
And those small steps really do make a significant difference over time. It's like saving a little bit of money each week. At first, it doesn't seem like much, but after a while, you've got a nice savings built up. Speaking of which, that reminds me of delayed gratification. It's the idea of waiting for something better instead of taking the instant reward.
Oh, yeah. Delayed gratification is like choosing not to buy that expensive gadget now so you can save up for a big vacation later. It's not easy to wait, especially when you really want something. I had to learn this lesson in college when I was saving up for a spring break trip. I had to skip some nights out with friends because I knew if I kept spending, I wouldn't have enough for the trip. It was tough, but when I finally made it to the beach, it was so worth it.
Absolutely. It's like that famous marshmallow test with kids. You know, where they gave kids a choice: eat 1 marshmallow now or wait 15 minutes and get 2 marshmallows. It sounds simple, but it's really about teaching ourselves to hold out for something better.
And it's not just about money or stuff. It can be about health, too. Like skipping dessert because you know you're working toward a fitness goal. At first, it feels like a sacrifice, but as you start seeing results, it gets easier to keep saying no.
That's true, Jennifer. But staying disciplined isn't always easy. There are challenges, especially when life gets stressful. When we're stressed, we tend to look for quick comfort, like junk food or binge-watching TV shows. It's our brain's way of dealing with all the pressure.
Oh, I totally get that. I remember last year during tax season, work was so busy, and I was stressed out. I'd come home and just eat a ton of snacks because it felt good at the moment. But then I noticed it wasn't making me feel any better in the long run. I had to find healthier ways to manage stress, like taking a walk or doing some breathing exercises.
That's a smart approach, Jennifer. Finding healthier ways to manage stress can really help. Speaking of managing things, let's talk about some strategies for developing discipline. When you want to build discipline, it's like building a muscle. You need to start small and gradually increase the weight.
Exactly. It's like going to the gym. You wouldn't start with the heaviest weights on day 1. You'd start with something lighter and build up over time. The same goes for discipline. If you want to start waking up earlier, don't suddenly set your alarm 2 hours earlier than usual. Start by setting it 15 minutes earlier, then 30 minutes, and so on.
That reminds me of something I heard once: habit stacking. It's when you add a new habit onto something you already do. Let's say you always make coffee in the morning. You could use that time to do a quick stretch while the coffee's brewing. It helps you create a new routine without feeling overwhelmed.
That's a great technique. I actually started doing that with reading. I wanted to read more, so I made it a habit to read for 10 minutes after lunch every day. Since I was already taking a break, it was easy to add in a little reading time. Before I knew it, I was finishing a book every month.
What about you, listeners? Do you have any habits you've stacked successfully? Share them with us in the comments.
Yes, we'd love to hear your experiences. Little by little, these small habits add up over time.
Exactly. And that's where motivation and willpower come into play. You know, motivation is great for getting started, but it doesn't always stick around. Willpower is what helps you push through when you're not feeling motivated.
Oh, totally. Motivation is like that excitement you feel when you start a new project or set a goal, but it's not always there, especially when things get tough. I remember trying to keep up with my New Year's resolutions. I was super motivated in January, but by February, that excitement was wearing off. That's when I had to rely on willpower to keep going.
Yep, motivation is kind of like a spark. It lights the fire, but you need willpower to keep it burning. And willpower isn't infinite. That's why it's a good idea to tackle the hardest tasks early in the day when your willpower is stronger. It's like trying to get homework done right after school rather than waiting until late at night.
Exactly. And when you're running low on willpower, little tricks can help you stay on track. I sometimes give myself mini rewards, like a piece of dark chocolate after I finish a tough task. It's a small thing, but it helps keep me going.
I do the same. It's like giving yourself a little pat on the back. But you know, Another thing that really helps is mindfulness and self-awareness. When you're aware of your habits and how you're feeling, it's easier to stay disciplined. It's like catching yourself reaching for your phone out of boredom. When you're mindful, you can ask yourself, do I really want to do this? Or am I just trying to avoid something?
Speaking of self-awareness, that's so true, Daniel. It's about being present and paying attention to what you're doing. I remember I used to stress eat without even realizing it. Once I started practicing mindfulness, I noticed those moments when I was reaching for snacks just because I was anxious. Now, instead of grabbing a snack, I take a few deep breaths or go for a quick walk.
Mindfulness also helps with self-control because you're more aware of your triggers. If you know you tend to get distracted when you're tired, you can plan ahead, like taking a short nap or having a cup of tea to recharge before starting work again. It's about understanding yourself and what makes it hard to stay disciplined.
Absolutely. It's like knowing your strengths and weaknesses. When you're aware of the moments that test your self-control, you can prepare for them. And that leads us to balancing discipline with flexibility. It's important to be disciplined, but you also need to give yourself some grace.
Right? Life happens, and sometimes things don't go as planned. If you're too rigid, you might feel frustrated when you miss a workout or don't stick to your schedule. It's okay to adjust your plans. Like if you plan to go for a run, but it's pouring rain outside, doing a quick indoor workout is still better than doing nothing.
Yes, Daniel. Discipline is about progress, not perfection. If you're trying to eat healthy but end up having pizza with friends one night, it doesn't mean you failed. It just means you enjoyed yourself, and you can get back on track the next day.
Exactly. It's like taking a detour when there's traffic. You're still heading in the right direction. You just had to adjust your path a bit. The key is to stay flexible and keep moving forward.
I think that's the perfect way to look at it. Life isn't always straightforward, so being able to adapt while staying focused on your goals is what really makes discipline work.
So that brings us to the end of today's conversation. We hope you found our discussion on discipline and self-control helpful.
Yes, and before we wrap up, let's bring in Charlotte for the vocabulary breakdown. She'll help us understand some of the key words, phrases, and idioms we use today.
That's right. Charlotte is here to make sure we've got all the important vocabulary covered. Take it away, Charlotte.
Thanks, Jennifer and Daniel. Hi again, everyone. Let's go over a few keywords from today's conversation that you can use to improve your English. I'll explain their meanings and give you examples of how to use them in everyday situations. Discipline. Discipline means doing what you need to do, even if you don't feel like it. It's about staying committed to your goals and following a routine. Example: waking up early every day requires a lot of discipline. Self-control. Self-control is the ability to resist temptations and avoid doing things you know aren't good for you. Example: it takes self-control to skip dessert when you're trying to eat healthy. Delayed gratification. Delayed gratification means waiting for a bigger or better reward instead of taking something smaller right away. Example: saving money for a vacation instead of buying a new phone is an example of delayed gratification. Hit snooze. To hit snooze means to delay getting up by pressing the snooze button on your alarm clock. It's often used when you want to stay in bed longer. Example: I hit snooze 3 times this morning because I didn't want to get up. Willpower. Willpower is the ability to control your actions, emotions, or urges, especially when you're tempted to do something else. Example: it takes a lot of willpower to keep studying when your friends are going out. Build up over time. When something builds up over time, it means it gradually increases or becomes stronger with time. Example: small savings can build up over time and turn into a large amount. Pat on the back. Pat on the back is show of praise or approval. Example: After finishing that big project, I gave myself a pat on the back. Manage stress. To manage stress means to take actions to reduce stress levels or cope with stressful situations. Example: exercise and meditation are great ways to manage stress. Flexibility. Flexibility means being able to adapt to different situations or changes. It's the opposite of being rigid or strict. Example: it's important to have flexibility in your schedule in case something unexpected comes up. So that wraps up all the key words, phrases, and idioms from today's conversation. I hope you found this helpful and feel more confident using these expressions.
Thank you so much, Charlotte. That was incredibly helpful.
Yes, we really appreciate it. Expanding your vocabulary is such an important part of improving your English skills.
And with that, we're wrapping up today's episode. Don't forget to download the PDF for today's episode. It has all the vocabulary, phrases, and practice exercises we covered. If you enjoyed the podcast, leave us a comment, give us a thumbs up, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes.
Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and remember, every step you take brings you closer to fluency.
Bye for now, and keep leaping towards your English goals. Until next time, happy learning.
Your progress doesn't end here. To continue advancing your English skills, click on the next video or explore the additional videos we've thoughtfully selected for you.
English Leap Podcast.
From Speak English with Class.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the English Leap podcast. If you're here, you've already taken the first step toward becoming the best version of yourself. I'm Erin, your host, your guide, and your cheerleader for today.
And I'm Daniel, the co-pilot on this journey to self-improvement and English fluency. Together, we're here to help you not just speak English like a pro, but live life like a legend.
Well said, Daniel. And today's topic is one that's as energizing as a fresh cup of coffee on a Monday morning. We're diving into how to become the best version of yourself.
Or as I like to call it, how to stop hitting the snooze button on your life. Trust me, folks, we've got insights, tips, and a few laughs lined up because, hey, self-improvement doesn't have to be all serious.
Let me start with a question. Have you ever looked at your life and thought, I could totally do better than this?
Oh, all the time. I once spent a weekend binge-watching shows about people climbing mountains. By Sunday night, I was like, I've conquered Netflix, but what about my goals?
Ha ha ha, Daniel, that's so relatable. You know, I had a similar moment last year when I realized I'd been procrastinating on learning guitar for, wait for it, 5 years.
5 years? That's almost as long as it took me to learn how to cook rice properly.
Hey, rice is tricky. But seriously, moments like these are wake-up calls. They remind us that becoming our best selves isn't about giant leaps. It's about small, consistent steps.
Exactly, like starting your day with a made bed. You may not feel like the best version of yourself yet, but at least your bed does.
Oh, I love that. Listeners, we're going to talk about simple yet powerful ways to transform your life. Stick with us. It's going to be fun and practical.
By the way, we've put together a short and handy PDF for this episode. It's packed with all the tips and key vocabulary and phrases from today's conversation.
It's free, practical, and easy to follow. Just click the link in the description to grab your copy. You'll love it. All right, Daniel, let's dive in. We've touched on those wake-up call moments, but let's talk about what it really takes to become your best self. For me, it starts with self-care.
Oh, absolutely. Self-care is foundational. You can't pour from an empty cup, yet somehow we all act like we're bottomless teapots.
Haha, so true. I used to think self-care was just about pampering, like spa days or fancy skincare. But it's really about meeting your actual needs, getting enough sleep, moving your body, and staying hydrated.
Exactly. I was terrible at this for years. I'd skip meals, stay up late working, and wonder why I felt awful. Now I prioritize small things like going for a walk after lunch. It's a total game changer.
It really is.
And it's not just physical. It's about mental and emotional care, too. Taking time to journal or even disconnect from social media can do wonders for your peace of mind.
Speaking of peace of mind, that ties right into having a growth mindset.
Oh, 100%. When you stop seeing challenges as obstacles and start viewing them as opportunities, everything changes.
For sure. I used to be terrified of failure, thinking, what if I mess up and everyone notices? But then I realized failing is part of growing. If you're not failing, you're probably not trying hard enough.
Exactly. I remember when I first started public speaking, I was so nervous, my hands would shake. But the more I practiced, the better I got. Now, it's one of my favorite things to do.
That's inspiring, Erin. And honestly, I think consistency is key here. Growth doesn't happen overnight. It comes from showing up day after day, even when it's tough.
So true. I always say, motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. It's those small, consistent actions that lead to big changes.
Exactly. Take my workout routine, for example. It's not about crushing it every single day. It's about showing up, even if all I do is stretch.
And having the right environment makes showing up so much easier. Surrounding yourself with positivity can make a huge difference.
Oh, absolutely. I had this friend who was constantly negative. Spending time with them left me drained, and eventually I had to step back. It wasn't easy, but it was necessary.
That's a tough call, but I get it. Positivity and negativity are contagious. Surrounding yourself with people who lift you up, it's like fuel for your growth.
Totally. And it's not just people, it's what you consume too. I replaced doom scrolling with uplifting videos and books, and the impact on my mindset has been huge.
I love that. And speaking of growing, don't you think continuous learning is another big part of becoming your best self?
Absolutely. You don't have to go back to school. Even small things, reading a book, trying a new recipe, keep your mind engaged.
Yes, I've been learning Italian lately. Just a few words here and there, but it's so rewarding. Plus, it's a great conversation starter.
Ha ha ha, I bet. I've been exploring photography, and it's opened up a whole new way of seeing the world.
That's amazing. And you know what ties all of this together? Gratitude.
Oh, for sure. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you don't have to what you do.
Exactly. I've started writing down 3 things I'm thankful for every morning. Simple things like a sunny day or a good cup of coffee. It's changed how I start my day.
That's awesome. I do something similar at night, reflecting on what went well. It's a great way to end the day on a positive note.
Daniel, you know what else is a game changer? Communication skills.
Totally. You can have the best ideas, but if you can't express them clearly, it's like having a treasure chest with no key.
Exactly. For me, improving communication started with active listening. When you truly focus on what the other person is saying, conversations become so much better.
Oh, I've been guilty of thinking about my response instead of actually listening. But when I started paying attention, my conversations became more meaningful.
It's not just about listening, it's also how you present yourself. Clear, confident communication opens doors.
Speaking of opening doors, have you ever pushed yourself out of your comfort zone?
All the time. The first time I gave a public speech, I was shaking, but it turned out to be one of the most rewarding experiences of my life.
That's incredible. For me, it was joining a salsa class. I have zero rhythm, but I learned that being awkward is part of the process, and it's actually fun.
I love that. Breaking out of your comfort zone is where growth really happens. You can't win at life by staying in the same place.
Exactly. And you know what helps make the most of those moments? Being intentional with your time.
Oh, for sure. I used to feel constantly busy but not productive. Planning my day around priorities made all the difference.
Same. I block out specific times for focused work, and it's amazing how much more I get done.
It's all about quality over quantity. Spending time on what truly matters instead of just filling your schedule.
And when things don't go as planned, that's when resilience kicks in.
Ah, resilience. The unsung hero of personal growth. It's not about avoiding failure. It's about bouncing back stronger.
Exactly. I think of resilience as a muscle. Every setback strengthens it, and over time you handle challenges better.
That's a great way to put it. I've learned to see setbacks as redirections, not endings. It's all about perspective.
And you know what gives resilience even more meaning? Giving back to others.
So true. Helping others, whether it's volunteering, mentoring, or just being there for a friend, is so fulfilling.
Absolutely. I started volunteering at a shelter last year, and it's been one of the most rewarding things I've done.
It's amazing how giving back doesn't just help others, it helps you too. It gives life a deeper sense of purpose.
Speaking of purpose, that's the final piece of the puzzle. Defining your values and your why.
Yes, knowing your why is like having a compass. It guides you through challenges and helps you make decisions that truly matter.
For me, it's about living a meaningful life, not just chasing success as society defines it.
Exactly. Success without purpose feels hollow. When you know your values, you can create a life that feels authentic and fulfilling.
And that's what it's all about, becoming the best version of yourself.
All right, listeners, before we wrap up, it's time for one of our favorite segments, Charlotte's Vocabulary Corner.
That's right. Charlotte is here to break down some of the key words and phrases from today's conversation to help you understand them better and use them confidently. Take it away, Charlotte.
Thank you, Aaron and Daniel. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to dive into today's vocabulary. It's packed with useful phrases that can really elevate your English. Let's start. Self-improvement, meaning making yourself better through habits and learning. Example: self-improvement starts with setting small, daily goals. Fluency, meaning speaking or writing smoothly and easily. Example: her fluency in French improved after living in Paris for a year. Legend, meaning someone admired for great achievements. Example: Michael is a legend in the world of music. Snooze button, meaning delaying something important. Example: don't hit the snooze button on your dreams. Start today. Wake-up call, meaning a moment that makes you realize something. Example: losing his job was a wake-up call to save more money. Procrastinating, meaning delaying tasks you should do. Example: she stopped procrastinating and finished her homework early. Consistency, meaning doing the same thing regularly over time. Example: consistency in studying helped him pass the exam. Discipline, meaning staying focused and following rules or goals. Example: discipline is key to maintaining a healthy lifestyle. Growth mindset, meaning believing you can improve with effort. Example: with a growth mindset, she turned her mistakes into lessons. Gratitude, meaning feeling thankful for what you have. Example: he expressed gratitude for his family's support. Positivity, meaning having a hopeful and cheerful attitude. Example: positivity can help you face challenges with confidence. Comfort zone, meaning a place or situation where you feel safe and unchallenged. Example: she stepped out of her comfort zone by joining a dance class. Resilience, meaning the ability to recover after a hard time. Example: his resilience helped him bounce back after the failure. Intentional, meaning done on purpose, not by accident. Example: she made an intentional effort to improve her English every day. Perspective, meaning the way you see or understand something. Example: traveling gave him a new perspective on life. Purpose, meaning the reason for doing something or meaning in life. Example: her purpose is to help people through her work. Values, meaning beliefs that are important to you. Example: honesty and kindness are the values she lives by. Authentic, meaning being real and true, not fake. Example: his authentic personality makes him a great leader.
Thank you, Charlotte. That was so helpful. All right, listeners. We hope today's conversation has inspired you to take small, meaningful steps toward your best self.
And don't forget to grab the free PDF for this episode. It's packed with tips and key phrases from today's chat.
Just click the link in the description. It's free, practical, and ready to help you on your journey.
Thanks for joining us on the English Leap podcast. Stay positive, stay curious, and keep growing.
See you next time, and remember, you've got this.
Your progress doesn't end here. To continue advancing your English skills, click on the next video or explore the additional videos we've thoughtfully selected for you.